quick video on this cat named Machiavelli Mills. I've been seeing Machiavelli Mills videos since I was young. I was much younger. But in this video, he was talking about how Drake um, needs to speak up for black issues. And I always notice how they always trying to put the light skinned dudes or the mixed men to be the crash dummies of the pawns while they don't have to really do anything. And this cat brought up a point a long time ago, which he brought up in this video about how Drake, they always trying to make Drake speak up for black issues, but they never actually make black men, meaning darker skinned black men specifically, speak up on issues. They always trying to ask Drake what to speak up on issues, but they never ask Future, Young Dolph, Kodak Black, all them other dudes. They don't have to speak about black issues, but they always trying to push the light skinned dude or the mixed race guy to speak up on black, so-called black issues. And Drake or any other entertainer should not be a spokesman for black people because their job is to entertain. They didn't go to school to be a politician. They didn't go to school to be, or they wasn't trained up as children to lead a group of people. Their job is to entertain, and they should keep it on entertainment. Leaders are born, and they also have to be raised up as well. You can't just take somebody who's just ignorant and just put them in a position of power to speak over a group of people. It doesn't work like that. And I always notice how they always try to pull those rituals on lighter men, of making them the crash dummies, making them the spokesman of black people. Then I actually seen a video of this black guy mocking light skinned people because the leaders were always light complected, and he tried to make it seem like they were overcompensating, which I don't think that always was the case. Which sometimes it is, sometimes definitely is. But they were also forced in these positions to do this, to fight their battles for them. And also, and he's trying to use the excuse that Drake participates in black, quote unquote, black culture, which is not really a real thing. Is one of the main reasons he needs to speak about police brutality and stuff like that, which is not a problem in the black community. White men are actually killed more by the police, by white men, than the other way around. They get killed a lot by their own policemen. And what black people have, they have spiritual issues that they suffer from, and they just worship Satan. That's their problem. It's not police brutality. And well, what I really want to get to is always about since he's saying, how Drake is allegedly biting off black culture, which he doesn't need black culture at all, because most of his support comes from non-black people. Black people definitely support Drake a lot, but they don't buy anything. They don't buy tickets. They don't buy. Some of them do, but the mass majority of them don't. They don't buy tickets. They don't buy, his music. Black people get free stuff. So to make this narrative that he needs black people, it's absurd. And he said he was trying to use them for street cred and for a cool factor, which Drake would have had that anyway. All right, before he even went to the hood, people were streaming his stuff and buying. He was outselling everybody. So that's kind of a dumb take to me. Drake was gonna be a superstar regardless, and these black guys in the hood used him for the same reason, but they actually benefited way more. Like, Drake ain't getting that for hanging out with a bunch of dusty niggas. Like, Drake put them on a global stage. Fuck the hood. A global stage where they can do world tours and stuff. That's way more beneficial than the other way around. And he was trying to use that, he's using black culture or something, whatever that silly stuff is, to gain the cool factor, whatever he's talking about. And that's why he needs to speak up about black issues, which I completely disagree. And he said he could tell about how Drake gets his hair cut, how he didn't grow up in black culture. All right, but it doesn't work like that. You can't take away somebody's heritage just because they wasn't raised in a certain environment. For example, like, I know a guy that's from Nigeria. All right, but you can't, just because he was born in America, that doesn't mean that he's not a Nigerian. That doesn't mean that his bloodline doesn't go back to that tribe of people. Is not where he comes from. His parents are from Nigeria, but they moved here, and his father's from Nigeria, but he's actually mixed. He's actually mixed, and but you can't take away from his Nigerian heritage just because he was born in America. It doesn't work like that. All right, even when you read the Bible, it talks about Moses, how Moses was an Israelite, and just because he was raised around Egyptians, that didn't mean he wasn't an Israelite no more. Just because he was raised around them. The Most High said, not only you're an Israelite, but you're going to lead the nation of Israel. So you can't do that. You can't take away somebody's heritage just because they wasn't raised around you. It doesn't work like that. We all know what it is. It's just that they don't like competing with Drake because he's too talented. You know, and he's a light skinned dude. Like let's be real about it. And that's why I have to kick him out of hip hop because there's no way they can get people. He's too talented. He's too marketable to the global stage, and they can't. They got to find a way to knock him out of the the hip hop genre and try to call him a pop star because they can't compete with those numbers. You know, I understand. Like he definitely has some type of maybe a little bit of privilege with, you know, how he was raised and being Jewish and understanding the money system and things like that and market a bit and knowing how to market himself. But you can't do that. All right. And he also want to bring up is that the whole FBA point. He said it or the black culture point. You know how much stuff that biracial men and mixed men, or even just men who are black, who have black American lineage, who are not from the hood, have invented that you use on a daily basis. Like the light bulb and the cars that you drive, that biracial men can somewhat gatekeep from you guys, but they don't. And from people of all races, but they don't do it. One, because they don't know about it, and then two, because, like I said, they just some of them are not just that petty. But you should do your research. I'm not saying that black people are not creative; they ain't done nothing. No, but you should do your research on the best black American inventors, and see who the vast majority of the inventors of your nations are. They're mostly mulattoes and lighter black people. And the hood didn't exist back then. All right, so what if those people said that you're benefiting off of us and our inventions, and you didn't grow up, you know, how we grew up? If that makes sense. And also, he brought up what did he bring up? He brought up and notice how they always talk about how they always trying to make biracial men and light skinned dudes the spokesman, and they need to do something for the community. But y'all light skinned dudes to ask them, what have y'all done for light skinned people or biracial people? And they won't be able to tell y'all shit because they never done it, especially for the men specifically. Ask them, what have you ever done for light skinned men? You could just take biracial men out of it. Just say, what have y'all done for light skinned FBA men? They won't be able to tell you shit because they don't do nothing besides shit on y'all. They don't do nothing besides steal y'all achievements. They claim y'all wins, but they don't claim y'all losses, which I rarely take losses. They just say that to take y'all shine from y'all. They slut y'all women out, make them whores, and y'all daughters. They don't do shit for y'all. They do nothing but backstab y'all and publicly humiliate y'all through media, and y'all the ones who fucking invented Black America. You biracial and light-skinned dudes. That's what I'm saying. Like, they ain't done shit for y'all. Start asking them, what are you gonna do for me, and what have y'all ever done? Y'all ain't never done shit for mixed men and light-skinned dudes. Y'all have never done anything for them. Y'all should start asking them that. All right, why don't you fight my battle for me? All right, and you light-skinned dudes and you mix light-skinned people as a whole, y'all need to stop doing that. So let me keep going. And he also talked about how Drake is always posting the hood. It makes it seem like he's using the hood. Well, these people are looking at him like a lick. Like the light-skinned lick, the corny dude that's getting... And that's exactly what happened. They use him and then backstab him? So, I mean, he's trying to make it seem like Drake is using these dudes. Like, Drake is just using these dudes and, you know, and getting over. Like, no, you see it, that's what happened to him. He's the one who put these dudes on the globe. These dudes wouldn't even have a career if it wasn't for Drake. They wouldn't have no hit records because they're not talented like Drake. We've never seen a talent like Drake ever in musical history. Probably since King David. I mean, Ye's kind of talented, but I mean, I'm just talking, but I'm just saying, from my generation, like, Drake is amazing. I mean, from what I've seen. He could be doing something behind closed doors we don't know nothing about, but from what I'm seeing, like, dude's like a one of one. Alright, you can't compare him to Michael Jackson because Drake mostly writes his own music. Michael Jackson didn't write his best hits. And that's not including the stuff that Drake writes for other people. I know y'all got the joke talking about how Drake has ghostwriters, all the nonsense. I'm not saying that everything out of his mouth come out is his, but a good 90 to 85% is his more than likely. All right, but they always trying to make it seem like they using the hood. Like y'all don't have shit. Y'all don't have no economical power. Everybody doesn't worship black culture. Go outside, they don't. Especially non-people of color, they do not worship black culture. All right, so that's not really based in reality. Let me.
People are feel like you're using the hood for street credibility and cool points. Then you're going to be expected to speak up for black folks.
When are y'all gonna speak up for mulattoes and light-skinned black people? All right, we done fought for y'all a million times, and y'all cowards, and y'all don't want to fight. Well, y'all gonna fight for them? When you want to use Drake for global appeal, for his talent, because y'all ain't got none in hip hop, that's why it's dying out. When y'all gonna fight for their battles? When you gonna check your own group of people for disrespecting mixed people, even though you use them all the time? But they don't want to get into that because they full of crap. He also talked about how he goes to the hood for shoot these videos and black American places. Well, what about, by that logic, what about these dudes who go, these hood black dudes who go outside of the hood and shoot music videos and go to a nice neighborhood and shoot them? And that's another thing I want to talk about is about this narrative that Drake is from the suburbs. Like Drake is not from the suburbs. Drake is from Toronto, Canada. He's from Western Road. That's not a suburb. Like, I can show you a picture of Kendrick's childhood home versus Drake. Like, he didn't grow up in a mansion with a swimming pool in the back. Like, that narrative they're trying to concoct. Now, he did end up leaving the hood, I think, once he got around high school. But he wasn't rich. Like, he was making like $50,000 from Degrassi, allegedly. So, like, that is BS. All right? He grew up worse than Kendrick as far as... black people like to struggle, compare who's struggling the most for some odd reason. But his home was not, he wasn't living spacious and comfortable like that. I'm going to show you a picture of his house. This is where Drake grew up, bro. The top part is where Drake grew up, and the bottom is allegedly where Kendrick grew up. All right? I think Kendrick's house came with, hold on, let me see real quick. It's saying that Kendrick's house came with 3 bedrooms with a built-in sauna with a 2-door garage. And this is where Drake grew up in Western Road. Unless that's what they're saying. So this notion that he just grew up in the suburbs and he just, man, like, shut up. That's not true. That's crazy.
Commercial reach than everybody, you're going to get judged differently. Especially when we know you're participating in black culture, because hip-hop is black culture. A lot of
people... And that's another thing I want to talk about. Is how black people are culture vultures too as well. Like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, on his GNX album, he had jazz music and all types of music. Jazz music was not only made by a light-skinned dude. Like, it's made by Buddy Bolden. But if you look up... Correct me if I'm wrong about this. All right, because, research is kind of hard to do on stuff like this because it's old pictures and stuff. But if you look up Buddy Bolden, he pops up as a dark-skinned black man. But if you actually look at the real Buddy Bolden, he's a light-skinned dude, and not only that, he's Creole, and he's from Louisiana. So like, he's not even FBA. He's Creole. He's a Creole brother. So by that logic, Kendrick is a culture vulture. He didn't say shout out to the Creoles. He didn't say that. The light-skinned cats in Creole. He did not say that. All right. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all a picture of Buddy Bolden that I found, and let me know if I'm wrong or not. And also, he literally walks around calling himself Kung Fu Kenny, and had a Chinese attire. Like, come on, y'all. They can use y'all women in rap videos as mixed light-skinned dudes and mixed dudes, but y'all can't rap in the videos. And they didn't even make a lot of this stuff. What about the people who? What group of people make the software just so y'all can make y'all rap music? Who made the electric microphones that y'all used in order to record that shit? A lot of people, our people are just desperate to own shit, especially black people. That's what I'm talking about. they're desperate to own stuff, and they just try to cling on to anything, I guess. This is Buddy Bolden right here. It's kind of old, you really can't see, but I'm guessing this is him too. It's more of a clear picture. You can see the little trumpet in his hand, and he found jazz. So I wonder, like, what group did he come from? And then you see that it was invented by a Creole man, not an FBA man. All right, if those are the right pictures, you can see that's the case. And another narrative they like to run with is that it's a black art form, which is true. But you have music genres and instruments that were made by mulattoes that y'all wouldn't even be able to use to even make music. All right, and on top of that, they try to act like Drake is some white boy who just discovered hip hop 2 years ago. Like, I posted a video, my last video about Drake, and he was a little 9-year-old boy. It's on YouTube. Just look up 9-year-old Drake. He's rapping with his so-called black uncle or whoever that is, and he's in the culture. He knows the songs by heart. He's rapping them. He's singing. Like, what are y'all talking about? All right, they're looking for anything to just take down Drake, which I'm not saying. Capping, if Drake did something wrong, he deserves it. It is what it is. But, like, come on, saying this, you can't take away that man's heritage just because, you can't compete with him, or you're threatened by him just because he's mixed, or whatever the stuff y'all just trying to come up with.
Especially when we know you're participating in black culture, because hip hop is black culture.
Even the food that they eat, like, a lot of that stuff came from the mulattoes. Like, I was doing my research, and the guy who invented mac and cheese. Now we know it's not new under the sun, so these inventions were in the ancient world too. But we know when I look up the inventor of mac and cheese, it's a mixed mulatto slave. It wasn't even a black dude. So a lot of stuff that y'all even eating on y'all plate sometimes come from a mulatto man. Like, because y'all been merged together. All right, so a lot of y'all taking credit for stuff they invented. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up real quick. This is the mulatto cat who invented mac and cheese. All right, that they love to eat so damn much. I might make a separate video on him, but yeah, I'm gonna make a part 2 to this. It's too long.